I met him, I was like, yo, this dude's weird. Like, I'm being honest, I like him.
Yeah.
He's really cool, but he's weird.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you meet comedians, and I don't know if they think they always have to be on because it's like this is who we see them as. It's like they're always performing. So what you see in a podcast or in a movie, it really is him. That's what I mean by weird, because like when you see his work, he's brilliant.
Yeah, 100%.
He's funny. He's wild. He's crazy. But he's the same way in person.
Wow.
So you could just be in an elevator with him, going up to the, to your seats in the suite in a game or something, or going down to courtside. He is the same person. The same person you see in movies, the same person you see in a private setting. It's unbelievable. But when I'm around other comedians, it's the same thing. They're always on. You run into Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is Kevin Hart.
Same thing. Wow.
He's Kevin Hart.
Was there anything that stood out to you, like a piece of advice or something that he said, like within your first maybe few interactions with him?
He said, I just got Walmart for $100-something mil or $200-something mil. He was just talking about how much money he got. He said, I got Walmart money. And I can't, use all the words that he used, but and he talks about it. I'm telling you, what you see
is what you get.
It's the same thing. Watch a podcast when he's on Breakfast Club. Yeah. I got Walmart money.
Yeah. That's
what he's going to say to you if he comes sit on this show. Yeah. You say something to him, Hollywood, he'll sit down right now and you'll be like, hey, how you doing? Good morning. I got Walmart money. That's what he's going to say. Because I don't know if a lot of you guys know this in Hollywood. This is what you was talking about earlier. We're talking about Tracy Morgan last night at the Garden. Had to be removed, escorted out, throwing up. And then I didn't hear that part. Blood coming out of his nose. But what was it? Maybe 10 years ago? I don't know. You may want to Google that, fact check that, which you're the worst fact checker in the world of fact checkers.
Let's go. I got to redeem
But he was traveling in a Sprinter van from one show to another, and a Walmart truck smashed his Sprinter van. And inside it was Tracy Morgan and a few friends, few people on his team, and he lost one of his dear friends. And so he is now forever disabled, back issues, leg issues, so many challenges. And then he also lost a friend. So Walmart coughed up a lot of money. And I don't know if that number was ever disclosed. So that's why,
June 7th,
you'll hear him talk about Walmart money. What was it?
June 7th, 2014.
So 2014, yeah, so a little over 10 years ago.
Yep. Well, prayers up for Tracy Morgan, praying that all is well. Obviously,
Why are we praying for a man that's throwing up?
I mean, we got to make sure he's good. You got to make sure he's good.
He threw up.
Nose was bleeding at the same time.
He need to get right.
Oh my goodness, Brian!
You need to get right. We want to waste with a race. I don't know. Maybe am I wrong, Pastor Reese? You can waste a prayer. You want me to waste a prayer?
It's never a waste of prayer.
Like, look, I got some church folks with me right now. Is that? Come on, seriously? No, stop drinking. Like, what are you doing? Are you doing drugs? You want me to wait? What are we doing? It's not that hard. You want me to go to Jesus? Hey, Jesus, he gonna say the same thing, bro. You're not supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like,
we don't know if that's what he did.
We don't know. Hard.
Oh my gosh, Brian, what we got on the agenda talking about sports? Get us there, man.
Well, before we get into that, B, I gotta ask you, B. Like, if you're,
I need my prayers right now. You want me to waste a prayer on Tracy? Hollywood talk about, well, prayers up for Tracy Morgan. He was sitting courtside at the Knicks game, and he threw up. Praying, what are we praying? Oh, there's some people out there really need some prayers. I need some prayers right now. You talking about me, right?
Hey, B, if you're sitting next to Tracy Morgan,
talking about career, why you
if you're sitting next to,
go ahead, my bad.
No, B. If you're sitting next to Tracy Morgan courtside, right? Are you leaving or are you staying? Because that was a lot of vomit, and that's what a lot of people were talking about on social media last night. Like, you're obviously paying a lot for those courtside seats. Are you out of there or are you staying for the rest of the game?
No, I'm probably going to go in the back and pray for him. I'm a comedian. You'll see how that did. I brought it back around.
He redeemed himself, y'all.
The thing with throw up and vomit is that smell sticks around. So even them cleaning it up, it's still going to be some residual effects, right? That smell, right? Vomit's terrible, right? Like you can clean up, do a great job, but the smell could be there for a couple hours, if not days, if it's on carpet. So I'm probably leaving, Brian. I'm asking them to relocate my seats, which is probably tough because in the Garden right now, especially with the Knicks playing, they're playing decent. They're playing well, right? Everything's sold out. Even when they're not playing well, there's not going to be extra seats on the floor.
100%.
So it's going to be tough. You might have to suck it up. And I'm done saying pause.
Right. Okay.
No more pause.
There we go. That's a milestone. Brian, what we got, man?
Let's jump into the show, guys. So I got an update on the Aaron Rodgers drama. So the NFL Network is now reporting that Rodgers could wait until after the NFL draft, which is about a month from now, to make a decision on his future. This is partly due because the Steelers are taking their time in their process to sign their QB1. There are basically 4 options left for Rodgers. We got New York, the Giants, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, or retirement. So let's see what Steelers star Cam Hayward said about Rodgers on his Not Just Football podcast. You got to take a listen to this, guys.
Darkness retreat. I don't need any of that crap. Like, either you want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler or you don't. That's simple. That's the pitch. Like, if you want me to recruit, that's the recruiting pitch. Pittsburgh Steelers. If you want to be part of it, so be it. If you don't, no skin on my back.
So
you don't have to ask me no question. No. You don't have to ask me no question.
Go.
You don't have to ask me no question. That's it. What are you doing, Mike Tomlin? This is Cam Hayward, right? Mr. NFL, Mr. Community, right? A Pittsburgh legend. He'll probably go into the Ring of Fame. Not a Hall of Famer, but he may end up in a Ring of Fame when it comes to the Steelers, right? This dude has spoken. That's the locker room. And the standard is the standard. Mike Tomlin said, like, when the locker room is rocking with you, we rocking with you. When they're not, we're not. You have Mr. Cam Hayward saying, what are you talking about? I don't know, ayahuasca. Do you want to be a Steeler or not? That matters. We talked about it yesterday with the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow. Sometimes we get caught up in the money and the value and this and that, and we forget about the relationships. Hollywood, you're more valuable to me than, let's say, someone who's on Fox or ESPN because of the relationship. I want to pay you more than them. It's the relationship. We've been in the trenches. We're in the trenches together. You know me. I know you.
No doubt.
Why would I go get him more money? Right? So now you go into the locker room. You got Cam Hayward. Sorry, B, and you can ask your question after this if you want. But Cam is like, we gotta do all this to want for you to convince you to play with us. No, I don't want it. And then you got a Russell Wilson out there that's begging. It seems like he begging. Like, come on, let's go. What we doing? I want to be here. I'd rather play with that guy that everybody say is done and washed than Aaron Rodgers that is a four-time MVP, Super Bowl winning quarterback, Mr. Arm, Mr. Quarterback. I'd rather play with that guy right there. Why? Because that guy's going to show up every single day. He's going to lead the way. He's going to give you your best. That I can win with. Now you got a guy, Aaron Rodgers, who I respect. I actually like Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not mad at his process. But the locker room has spoken in Pittsburgh. That's what they're saying. They're saying, no, bro, I'm not, even if you sign him right now, Cam Hayward going to be like, man, you walk into the room like, hey, how you doing? Bruh, like, I got to give you all that energy to convince you to come here? No, please.
Well, so think of it like this in 2 parts. As a GM and you as a former athlete, right? Like, let's say you were a GM and, of course, you're a former athlete in this scenario. If you are Aaron Rodgers, take me into the mind of, is this considered like another holdout for him? Like, is it?
Hold on. I don't think I'm articulating myself well enough on this topic. Let me slow down because I'm still juiced from my workout. And I had a big 24-ounce Red Bull, I think.
I saw that.
You saw that? That was mine. I drank the whole thing.
You got a crash heartbeat.
And I don't think I did a great job explaining the Joe Burrow stuff yesterday and why you pay $40 million to Jamar Chase and another $28 million to your number 2 receiver and makes them both the highest paid at their positions. Number 1 receiver, number 2 position, number 2 receiver in the history of the NFL. What I'm trying to say is owners, management, they get so caught up in the business that they forget about the emotional connection it takes to build something.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking to you about building a network, it's the same energy in the locker room of trying to win a championship.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be here, it ain't going to work.
Yeah.
It ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Why? Because now you got guys like this, Cam Hayward, saying that, and that matters. You want him to go out there and give your quarterback everything. Okay, they're down. We're down by 3 scores, but I'm still going to go out there and try to dominate on the defensive front because I know that guy, right, is on the other side. But then when you look on the side, how many times you see, like, man, that Zach Wilson with the Jets, the defense start playing worse. They were the top 5 defense in the NFL. Zach Wilson was there. Zach Wilson start playing bad. The defense start playing bad because they didn't believe in him. They didn't want to play for him.
Right.
So hopefully I'm articulating myself well enough for people to understand why chemistry and continuity is bigger than the business.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that pissed me off a lot when I played in the NFL was these owners and managers, they get into all the business stuff and they forget about, like, no, that guy matters to this locker room. Yeah. Why would you let this guy go? Well, he's older. He's this, he's that. Saquon Barkley's a perfect example. Now I'm on a rant. March Madness. Saquon Barkley, they didn't want to get a man $14 million, $15 million a year. Now he's making 20. Mm-hmm. He's not worth it. He's not worth it. What are you talking about? He's the face of the franchise. You guys are making $20 million a year off his jersey. Mm-hmm. You have no superstars in New York, the biggest media capital of the world. Not even sports, in the world. Yeah. And you have no face of your franchise. You better pay him above that. They didn't. Why? Because they got stuck on the business. And look what happened. This dude goes on to the Philadelphia Eagles for the same money that they could have paid him. 2,000 yards rushing. Super Bowl champion. Yeah. Could have had that in New York.
Yeah.
So sorry. My little rant for the day. I may have two.
No
more.
Yeah, B, let me jump in, B, because I got to ask you about this because, like, literally I hear that sound from Cam Hayward. And I think that the NFL is done with Rodgers. I think not just the Steelers, not just Cam Hayward. I think everybody is done with Rodgers. What do you think about that?
This is where it get real tough. And Mike Tomlin talk about this. Yo, you put up with a little bit when the talent's there. And I know he's 42. Mm-hmm. That's what they have to look at, B, is like, dang. Like Mike Tomlin, the Giants, they're like desperation. Just if we just want that Super Bowl right now. I don't got time. I ain't got another 5 years. I ain't got another 6 years. I just need that guy to come in and do what Brady did in Tampa. That's what I need.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that's when you have organizations and teams sit back. There's always ones. There's always a Cleveland Brown out there waiting. There's always somebody in Ohio waiting. Always.
You said nobody wants to go to Cleveland.
Yeah, because you're right. Like, it doesn't make sense. He's 42 years old. The last 3 years has been down for him. His last year in Green Bay, then his first year in New York, he tears his Achilles. And last year, he still played well, when you look at the field, but it wasn't an Aaron Rodgers year, so you can say he's done. Yeah. Right? And then all this other stuff, the distractions, he's doing the media, which I think he should continue to do. This is what we fought hard for, athletes, right? Playoff P and, Micah Parsons. No, this is what I fought for. Well, because we get a little tough now, we don't want to do our podcast? Yeah. What are we talking about? No.
Do you want
we
that
said
circus
we're more than the athlete. Huh?
Do you want that circus? Do you want the Rodgers circus? Like, if you're a player on the Steelers or the Giants or whatever, do you want that circus associated with your franchise? Or are you like, let's go in another direction? Because that's what I think it is at this point. I think Rodgers loves hearing people talk about Aaron Rodgers. I think that's like his only goal at this point. Because, again, like, you're right. He's not awful, but he's not Aaron Rodgers.
I disagree.
So, okay.
I disagree with you. I don't think that's Aaron Rodgers. I think that football players and athletes were put in a box and were institutionalized. And what makes the really teams good is they eliminate the distractions. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers don't want the attention. Aaron Rodgers is just counterculture to athlete. what we say athlete is. Athlete, team, eliminate the distractions, right? Show up, work hard, beat her every day. And Aaron Rodgers like, no, there's more to life. Yeah. But then we look at the transition of athletes. We study the transition of athletes, and 80% of them are in ruins. They're hurt. Mm-hmm. Why? Because they're not on their journey. Like, I'm not going to a cave and taking ayahuasca. I go to church and go to the altar. Mm-hmm. Okay? That's my way, but I'm on a journey.
Yeah.
You understand? So he's on his journey, trying to be better than the guys that came before. 100%. Because they say 80% is what? Damaged, broken. And he's trying to overcome that.
Yeah.
So I actually respect his journey, but it's tough. It doesn't always mesh in sports. Because you see an athlete, all it is no, shut up, dribble, shut up, catch the ball, throw the football. It's March. You're supposed to be here. Yeah. You're supposed to be leading the team. No, what about traveling the world? I got all this money. Yeah. I'm 26. I'm 27. I'm 30. I'm 40. What about seeing the world, Craig? My sons, Z and Zoe, let's say if that's what God has for them, they make it to the pros. Bro, for a month after the season, y'all go travel the world. Now take your trainer with you. Right? Because we still got to be pros. Right. We got to do our job. Well, Daddy, they got this off-season program, and I got to be here as a leader. Man, excuse me. F that. Go see the world, son. The world is so big. Yeah. Go give back. Go do other things. We got time for that. Yeah. Take the trainer with you.
Yeah. Do you wish
because
you had
that makes
like
you a better? That should make you a better football player.
Do you wish you had somebody like that in your career?
Heck yeah, bro. I was dog. I was so freakish and like what everybody wants Aaron Rodgers to be that it hurt me in a lot of ways. It made me a great football player, but it hurt my interpersonal relationships. Kind of get emotional thinking about it. Yeah. But I ain't gonna do it today. I ain't gonna let him. I ain't gonna cry today. It ain't that type of day. I'm not doing
30 seconds. 30
there ain't
seconds.
no 30 seconds. I'm telling you my stories. You wanted to get emotional talking about. You want to talk about Tracy Morgan opening the show talking about Tracy Morgan. You want to pray for Tracy Morgan because he threw up.
Oh my God!
Wasting my Jesus time on Tracy Morgan. Kidding me? And then now I get emotional. Now you give me 30 seconds. No, we're not doing that. No.
Let's tell your story.
Bro, here you go. Listen. It was my anniversary. It was like my 3-year anniversary. Living down here in sunny South Florida. I'm training. I'm in training mode. I'm doing everything they telling us to do. You got to be in it. Yeah. You got to stay focused. I went to Whole Foods, ordered my non-hormonal steak, right? Grass-fed, boom, it was a certain cut. I went there, got my filet. Eating fillets at the time. Big filet fan. I then took my pan. Why? Because there's some pans, if you go to these restaurants, like the pans, there's a lot of like chemicals in it, like, you know, when you scrape it, the metals, we're consuming that.
Food, yeah.
Right? So, but I'm like, all right, cool. I'm learning about nutrition. I'm learning about the body at this time. I then take my pan, because I know I have the right pan. Then I take my seasonings because everything that goes into that matters as well. Not just give me a steak or a steak is great, but then you add all these other things. Yeah. I went down there after my workout, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, to Prime 112. The top revenue generating restaurant in the world, year over year after year. Crazy runs, never been done before. And I go to them and I say, hey, here's my steak at a steakhouse. Here's my pan. Here's my seat. This is how you fix my food. Yep. I want to sit here, bring the flowers up here. It's my anniversary. Here's also my potato that I want. She can order whatever she wants, but I got to be in this performance mode. Drop it off. I leave, go home. 45-minute ride down to Miami, 45 minutes back up to Western Florida. Get dressed. Boom, 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 go down there. And then I eat my food. It's my anniversary. She's ordering whatever off the menu, and I did all of that. That's insane.
That is insane.
That's insanity.
That is insanity.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing that makes you great as an athlete is like you are willing to do whatever to become the best.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But then it's like it can hurt other things around you. You're not. Are you really living? Are you really living? I tell all these athletes that, man, I'm like, yo, how's your body? That's the first question I ask every athlete. We had Jordan Reed come in here yesterday. He'll be in here again today, right? And this is a kid that we've been training since high school. I had 2 of these facilities in Chicago. I just heard this story yesterday. It's such a blessing, man, like having a facility like this. You know, I forget how many people we train or how many guys that train here, right? So one time we was doing a podcast on Paper Route like 2 years ago. He's like, oh, yeah, I was interviewing. He's like, yeah, no, I used to train at your Chicago location. Like, oh, wow. Yesterday he told me the story. They were leaving a basketball game, walking through Naperville, Illinois, right outside of Chicago, saw our gym and walked in and said, oh, I want to get some extra training. Couple years later, he goes on to college. Couple years later, he's drafted. Now he's a top receiver for the Green Bay Packers, right? So that's how, you know what I'm saying, we came together, or he and Kofi. He comes in here yesterday, right? And I asked him, how's your body? It's the first question I ask every athlete. How's your body? It's good. Then I go to the mind. How's your mind? Mental. A lot of people don't ask about the mental. How's your mental? Okay, cool. I'm good there. All right, great. And then I get my little big bro speech. All right, boom, what we doing this offseason? Da, 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 da. He had another young cat with him. All right, ask me questions. You got 5 minutes. I'm bouncing. Yeah. You got me here. I've been through everything that you want to go through. How are you going to take advantage of this time? Boom, boom. So now we bouncing. Okay? And then I say, okay, what are you doing for fun? How are you exploring? No. Don't go to Whole Foods and get your steak and do that. No, go to Paris. Right? But take your trainer. Come this time, mid to end of March, that's when we got to tap in and get serious. Yeah. Right after the Super Bowl is when we start moving again. Right? You take a couple weeks off. You might want to do some little Pilates, little walking, jogging. You want to keep your body going. Yeah. But then after the Super Bowl, we start getting some exercising again, some more strength. And then in mid-March, end of March, that's when we got to kick it into gear. So I say all of that because I'm being long-winded. To get back to this Aaron Rodgers thing is balance is critical. And it's hard as a professional athlete. It's hard even as an entrepreneur. It's hard for anybody that's striving to be great to have that balance. Yeah. And I haven't perfected it yet. I'm still searching for it. But the greatest in the world in business and sport, their lives, their relationships are terrible. Yeah. Wow. It's terrible. Because the sacrifice that you have to make to become great at whatever you do, right? It hurts people around you. Now, there's a better way, and I think that's what Aaron Rodgers is searching for. That's what I'm searching for. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers wanted to go to a darkness retreat. I want to go to church. But it's the same journey. Yeah. How do we be better? Yeah. It's the same journey.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
All right,
I Am Athlete Daily presented by
literally. Like, I don't even think we can go to another topic after that one. That's the show.
No, that ain't the show. Let's keep going. I'm on fire by myself. Me and Hollywood.
Brian, what we got?
B, before we move on, I'm going to drop the mic on this Rodgers conversation. So if a team like the Steelers or Giants, and this is a rhetorical question, B, if a team like the Steelers or Giants were to ask the Jets about their former quarterback, what do you think they would say about Rodgers? And you know what they'd say, B? Nothing, because they aren't there, because he got the head coach fired, he got the offensive coordinator fired, he got the GM fired, he got the ball boy fired, he got the security fired, he got the usher fired, he got everybody associated with the Jets fired. So
players traded.
There you go. That's exactly 100%. So I'm done with Rodgers, so we can go on to the next topic, but just thought I'd throw that one in there at the end. All right, B, so we have a bunch of NFL free agency statements, and you're going to let us know if it's fact or cap, all right? So first up, Justin Fields will win a playoff game while in New York. It doesn't have to be this year, B, but will he win a playoff game while with the Jets? Fact, or he will win a playoff game while in New York. Fact or cap?
Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills, New England Patriots. So you got to win a division first. Patriots, Miami Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa, Mike, but they're going through some changes. Fact, but it's not because of Justin Fields. I mean, he's a part of it. This Coach Glenn, real deal. Justin Fields will win a playoff game in New York, but Coach Glenn is the real deal, and he's going to put guys like Justin Fields, Garrett Wilsons of the world, the Sauce Gardners of the world in the proper place, and also be that glue. Yeah. I know we're supposed to move fast here. Let's move. Go to the next. I can preach on this, like, because you got to think about these are the best of the best. These are all alphas. Where you come from, whether little league, high school, college, you are the man. Yeah. But now when you come into the locker room, how you going to tell a grown man that's making more money than you as a coach to sit down and be quiet? You got to be built differently in the league. You got to be a different type of coach. Those are the coaches that win. The Sean Paytons that can do it. The Mike Tomlins that can do it. Glenn is that type of guy, and that's what it takes to win a championship. Yo, Sauce, yo, I hear you, but we on this right now. Yeah. Garrett Wilson, I hear you, but we on this right now, bro. Yeah. If you can't talk like that in the locker room, you're not going to win. And there's only a few coaches that can get that done. Mike Tomlin is one. Coach Payton is one. Who else is out there? Vrabel back in the league is one of those guys. Pete Carroll is one of those guys. Now, it ain't the same energy. You know, Pete Carroll's a nice guy with it. What are we going to do? But he's going to get it done, and if he have to put his foot down, he will. Yeah. And that's a cool story. Pete Carroll, that's when I knew he was a boss. Me and Russ go out there, and we killing them in camp, Steph. We like 7 for 10. They only brought me in to score touchdowns. They're like, you old and dumb, but you can run 10 yards, dude. They're like, you going to score these touchdowns. You see what Jimmy, the tight end from the U, Jimmy Graham. Just saw Jimmy Graham, too, in New Orleans. Cool dude, flies airplanes now. Jimmy Graham, he's like, do you see what he did? He scored 10 touchdowns last year. That's what we want you to do. They was turning me into a tight end. Touchdown machine. We're in camp, probably 7 for 10, crushing them. We scoring touchdowns. Sierra on the side with the kids. Yay! We about to go to the Super Bowl. And it didn't look the way Coach wanted to look on film, but we were still successful. And then after practice one day, he pulls us to the side. He's like, hey, so talk me through what you guys are doing. It's like, yeah, we got our hand signals, and we've been working on this. We've been watching extra film. He's like, oh, that sounds cool. He's like, but I like it this way. And then we talked for about 10 minutes, man, and we were explaining to Coach what we were doing, and then I picked up on that Coach wasn't trying to hear it, and then I just fell back and I got quiet. Russ was still trying to talk and convince Coach Carroll. And after about 10 minutes of them, another 10 minutes of them going back and forth, Coach Carroll looked at Russ and looked at me. He said, do it this way, and walked off. I said, oh, I see why he is successful. He is a goon. Because you think of Coach Carroll, he just got this bop and this pop, right? His culture, bro, it's all about fun. It's about competing, but it's fun, right? He ain't yelling, he ain't screaming, but when he has to put his foot down, he'll put his foot down, right? Wow. And so that's what I love about Pete Carroll, and that goes back to Coach Glenn's Eric Glenn, right?
Aaron Glenn.
It's Eric Glenn? Aaron Glenn. I played against Aaron Glenn, now the head coach of the Jets. He was old when I was in the league. I used to tear Coach up out there, sweet. I'm a young pup, year 2, year 3. This old dude, he like 16 years in the league out there trying to guard me. Bro, if you don't go to the sideline, dude, you doing exactly what you doing right now. Out there 16 years in trying to guard me. Bro, I was doing anything I wanted to coach out there. But now he's that guy, right? He's been in the locker room. He's a player, and he played at a high level for a very long time. And so coming in, you're naturally going to get that respect. Yeah. Almost like what Deion Sanders had, right? Not everybody can come in and get that type of respect. So I see Justin Fields and the Jets winning. Not win. You said winning a playoff game or participating in a playoff game?
Correct. Winning a playoff game, B.
Oh, I got to go Cap.
Oh, my goodness.
I did all of that.
Almost just to
they'll make the playoffs, but they won't win a game. They will make the playoffs, but won't win the game. That's a different story there.
All right, next up, B. Davante will have double-digit TDs with the Rams next season. Fact or cap?
Fact. Davante Adams will have double-digit TDs. Because when you get older, it's more mental than it is physical. I got a clip that's going viral from being out there with the young pups this Sunday. Every Sunday I go out there, and there's kids from 7 years old to the pros out there training. It's a premier athletes, amazing league with Sly and those guys been able to build over the years. Some of our favorite receivers, corners that are in the league today come from this program right around the corner. And I was just telling them that. I was like, yo, we're working on red zone, 7 yards and in. And I was like, yo, it's all mental. It's about timing. That's it. So when you think about Davante Adams, this is why you bring him in. This is why you still pay him that money. At the end of my career, I was still getting paid money because they are like, yo, touchdowns matter. We got to score points. Brandon can score touchdowns. Davante Adams can score touchdowns. He's going into year 13. 10 touchdowns, that makes you valuable. Now what happened for me is Coach Todd Bowles with the Jets, even the Giants, even the Chicago Bears at the end. Well, we'll give him what he wants because he's going to give us 10 touchdowns. They didn't know I still had 100 catches in me. They didn't know I still had 1,500 yards in me, B. They didn't know I still had Pro Bowl and All-Pro in me, B. So Davante Adams, in year 13, the way he take care of his body, and then also being with a coach like Coach McVay and a quarterback, Matthew Stafford, this could mess around. He could mess around and have his best year, let alone score double-digit touchdowns. Because it's about mental. Tony Gonzalez, do the numbers. Follow the numbers, Brian. We want to get on these shows, and we want to talk about. We want to get on these shows, and we just want to talk, and we don't want to back it up with the numbers. I like the numbers. I like the data. Some people say data. I like data. You know what I like to do? I like to look at guys in comps. Tony Gonzalez was in year 77 and still had 80, 90 catches, Chris. Why? And he was slow as dirt. Why? Because he knew the zones. He knew how to sit. He knew how to get on the same page with the quarterback and communicate with the offensive coordinator. So I gave this a D minus, I think, yesterday when we did grades, because I said this is great for Davante, but it's not great for the team. Like, do you become a Super Bowl champion? I don't think so. But this is a great situation for Davante Adams. Davante Adams is going to have an amazing year. He's comfortable in Cali, and he's surrounded by some football people. McVay is a football guy.
Yep.
Matthew Stafford is a football guy.
Yep. Yeah, I love the fit in LAB. I agree. The Sean McVay system is going to do wonders for Davante. It's going to rejuvenate him. All right, last one, B. DK Metcalf will be a top 5 receiver in football with the Steelers next season. Fact or cap?
You asked me this question yesterday about the free agency and the pickup.
Only if he has Russell Wilson.
And what did I say? There you go. Come on. Speak for me, bro. Speak for me. You know what I'm going to say. Why are you doing this? Why are you asking me questions? It's a rhetorical question. Ain't that what he said earlier? He said, this is a rhetorical question. It's a rhetorical question. That was like one of the first big words I learned.
Rhetorical?
Yeah, like this was like 8th grade, 9th grade. When did we learn rhetorical? Rhetorical and redundant were the first big words that I learned. I was like, oh. And I just started saying them all the time. Like, this is cool. And I still say it.
Can you spell it? RHETORICAL. Got it.
Did I do it right?
There we go. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah! Hey, and I'll be the first to tell y'all, I went to school for football. I did not go to school for school. Hey, can I tell y'all some stuff when I was in the world? Tell y'all a quick story real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So I was dating this girl, right? This is post-divorce. So I was out in the streets. And I was dating this girl, and we were getting to know each other. And she was telling about where she went to school and what she went to school for, et cetera, et cetera. And she started talking to me about, like, you know, her major and what she wanted to do. And at the time, I smoked or something. I don't know. Or took a gummy, right? This is when I was in the world. Got to be honest here. And so I was like out of it a little bit. And I looked at her, I said, hold on, you went to school for school? She looked at me so crazy. She said, what? Because as an athlete, I was like, I didn't go to school for school.
Yeah.
So to sit down with someone and get it, I was like, oh, you went to school for school. It was just so random, and it made me look so dumb. I was a great student, though. You know, I was a B student. Okay. That was good for me. It's like I want to see a 3.0 every semester.
Yeah, that's good.
From my freshman year, and it's good. And it took me a long time. I was a slow blinker. It took a lot of effort, a lot of work to make sure I got my B. But when I came in school, my advisor freshman year is like, you can take, what is it, like college prep or tech prep? There's 2 lanes you can take. Y'all remember that? Reese, I know you know. Remember, it's like there's 2 paths you choose when you're in high school. I don't know if they probably, it's different now, but college prep or tech. Reese, you remember that? No? Y'all didn't have that?
I know what you're talking about, B.
What is it? What is it called, Brian? Like, it was 2 things. So college prep is like, it takes you on that trajectory. And they talk to me about the SATs, the ACTs, and what you need to do, clearinghouse to get there, and the higher your GPA, the lower your SAT. So I was always thinking 4 or 5 years out, I was like, yo, I know I'm not going to test well because I'm a slow blinker. Slow blinker is someone who it takes a long time for them to get it. You got to explain it to them 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 or 6, right? And so I knew I was a slow blinker. So I was like, let me get my GPA as high as possible so now my SAT can be whatever. Yeah. Do you remember your SAT? Do you want to share?
I took the ACT, so I got a 21.
21 is okay. 21 is good. Yeah. Brian, what did you get?
I was on
SAT
the 1600. Yeah, so SAT, I was on the 1600 format. No, I didn't get 1600. I was on the 1600 scale. Like, I know they changed it for a while and then went back to 1600. I think I got a 1380.
Whoa.
Is that good for SAT?
What? That's amazing. 1380?
Yeah, I almost got perfect in math too, which is wild. Because
Cap, this segment is Factor Cap, and I am calling Cap.
I'm gonna get it.
That's Cap, bro. There ain't no way you got 1380.
I did, man.
You still got your scores?
Like I know. I got.
You still got your scores from back in the day?
And hey, I'm gonna call my high school and I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna prove B that I am a smart MFer. Let's go.
We want the official transcripts.
Okay.
I don't want you to say, "Oh yeah, I called the high school." I want the official transcripts.
Okay.
All right. So listen, I know this is Factor Cap. We got to get back on track here. Davante Adams, double-digit touchdowns is fact. Brian, 1380 SAT scores. Cap. What's the next one?
Well, actually, we're still on the subject of school right now. So some good news for young athletes out here. The NCAA has agreed to permanently drop its rule prohibiting athletes from negotiating NIL deals until after they enroll in school, which basically means recruiters are jumping for joy because they can now use NIL deals in their pitch.
Hold on. Slow down. I'm a slow blinker. I just said I was a slow blinker. Go back.
Okay.
Walk me through it again. What happened?
So the NCAA has agreed to permanently drop its rule prohibiting athletes from negotiating NIL deals until after they enroll in school.
So which means they can in high school they can start negotiating.
Correct. Yeah. So B, do you have any concern about a slippery slope here with younger kids being promised a fortune?
No, this is business. And the more sophisticated we get in business, and the more complex and robust sports, leagues, institutions get, the more sophisticated, savvy we have to get as athletes, as creators.
Yeah.
Right? And so now more than ever, our athletes need the right people around them. Yeah. Right? A lot of us that make it to the NFL or NBA, we come from Akron, Ohio, LeBron James, right. Inglewood, California, or Compton, the James Hardens of the world and the Russell Westbrooks, right? We come from the inner city. We come from tough places, and we don't always have all the skills or the tools to negotiate, these multi-year, multi-million-dollar deals. Yeah. So platforms like ourselves, all the Smokes of the world, the Gilbert Arenas of the world, the et cetera, like need to lean into these conversations because they're listening to us. 100%. So we have to have these conversations to get the information out there so they don't put themselves in a tough position. Yeah. But it shouldn't even be a conversation anymore about athletes in high school or college making money. And this is going to trickle all the way down to Little League as well. Think about it. There you go. High school athletes. Hold on. I'm telling y'all right now. Right now, my son is 10 years old. I don't even want him to play football. Yeah, you know where I'm going, B, don't you?
Yeah, I get it, B. I get it. Go ahead.
I take him out to these parks now, and I got everybody. Yo, bring your son here. We need a quarterback. Bring him here. And I'm sitting back like I got to navigate through this now as a parent. Now I'm equipped. I'm waiting for this. But when we get to high school, you want Z3 Marshall? I want a part of the merchandise. I want a part of concessions, ticket sales, all of that. My boys, forget that. My daughter, face of volleyball, 10 years old. You know, I'm speaking life. I'm like big baller brand. What's his name?
LeVar Ball.
Yeah, call me him. LeVar. What's his name?
LeVar Ball.
I'm LeVar Ball. Yo, so it ain't no just, oh yeah, we're giving your kid if it's a private school, free tuition. Not only are you giving me my kid a scholarship, but I'm bringing 5 kids from the hood. And it ain't just because they can ball and they athletes, but they deserve access too. Yeah. So my kid plus 5 to 6 other scholarships, and also we want part of the revenue. We going revenue share on what this program make.
That's a lot.
It ain't no lot.
To a high school?
Google Chat GPT right now real quick. Let's see how some of the top performing programs maybe in Texas or Florida, how much money a football program can make in college, in high school. You're talking about 10,000 seats in some of these stadiums. And you got to pay to get in, bro. And they getting more sophisticated. They got apps now. Oh, you can buy your tickets before. You can buy all your tickets. Think about it. What is it, $8 to get into a high school game, Steph? It's $8 to get into 8. So do 8 times 10,000. What is that? $8 times 10,000. Because we selling out. And y'all got to add more bleachers too. 80,000. That's $80,000 a game. Without my son and those 5 boys that I'm bringing from the hood, y'all 1 in 5. Y'all 1 in 9, not making the playoffs. And y'all got 500 people maybe in attendance.
Do you remember?
And 400 is faculty and staff and the students.
Do you remember your stats coming out of high school?
No.
Okay. Do you feel like you would have gotten that NIL check or been eligible for it at least, like to be able to make above?
I was good enough, but I wasn't sophisticated. I wasn't even sophisticated when I first got to the league. I didn't even know how big the business was.
You would have gotten paid.
Getting in trouble. I was so emotional. But listen to what I'm saying to you. Okay. Like right now, I had one of my proudest moments as a father was this past Saturday. And it was painful. My son, I've been talking to him about body language. He's 10 years old. I've been talking to him about body language for 2 years. Why? Because I'm thinking about, first of all, him as becoming a man and his character as a human being, not the football player, but the benefits of being a great human being, and you taking that to the football field. Now, the USCs, the LSUs of the world, they see the talent. Now, what's going to separate you is like, oh, you're a great leader. You're a great person. You have great work ethic. Yep. You're a great teammate. Yep. You're all those things. So one of my proudest moments to date as a father was this past Saturday, which was one of the toughest moments as well, because I had to pull my son from a game. There was a game a week ago, and I said, son, I'm telling you right now, I've been talking to you about your body language. If you continue to do this, I'm not just taking a PlayStation, I'm taking sports. It's that serious. So we go out there. And after the game, I'm like, yo, let me now walk you through some of the things, some of the corrections. But I'm doing it in good spirit and fun because I don't even care about wins or losses. All the other kids is listening to me. Now I tell my son, and I'm like, yo, so daddy struggled catching a deep ball. And Coach Heimendinger, he taught me how to catch a deep ball. Let me show you what you're doing. And you're coming up short because you're opening up your shoulders. Yeah. Hold on. We've been talking about body language. Man, give me 10 push-ups. He throws his gloves down, then throws his mouthpiece. Ooh. I said, what? I said, man, take off that jersey right now. I said, you ain't playing the next game. And you may not play football the rest of the season. The coaches, everybody look at me like, he's our star player. What? I said, I care more about my son, the man, the boy and the man that he need to become than the football player. He's not playing. Yeah. Wow. So this Saturday comes, we're out there. The coach, who happens to be a scout for the LA Rams, this is 10-year-old flag football. He's like looking at me like, yo, you sure? We got to win this game to get in the playoffs. I said, my son going to be sitting right there on the sideline. And my son sitting there crying, oh, Daddy, you ain't going to let me play. Nope. I said, you know what? What's so funny is in fourth grade, my dad pulled me out of a game. And it was one of the most painful things I've ever experienced because I love the game so much. And that taught me a lot, right? And I said, you're going to remember this moment. So I could take away the PlayStation, I could make you do push-ups, but taking away this, something that you love and you're passionate about, is going to show you how serious this is. When I talk to you about body language, I say, don't be a palms up guy, right? On the field, I don't want to see this. Coach, trust me, palms up. What's wrong? No, I don't want to see that. You can't even do that. It's body language. When you want to talk to your teammates, I need you to be like, yo, boom, here we go, right? I said, those things matter, and it's going to take you the distance. And it took me until year 4, year 5 in the league to start understanding how all these things work. Yeah. Like my dad was teaching me different things, but every generation is supposed to be better. I'm supposed to be a better father than my dad. I'm supposed to be a better coach than my dad. I'm supposed to take things that I'm supposed to build on what my dad gave me because my dad did a decent job, right? But there's some things where he missed as well. Yeah. And so now I'm trying to give my son those things. Yeah. So I know I went on a little bit of a tangent here, but hopefully there was some takeaway there. And the more of the story is, as a father, which was pretty cool, I didn't let my son play Saturday. And after the game, he said, Daddy, I got it. And that made me so happy. And I said, son, you ain't going to be perfect, but now you need to know, right? And I'm going to do the same thing. How important it is, and then also I'm going to do the same thing in high school. Yeah. If you do it in high school, I'm coming down the field and you won't be playing. Yeah. Because you never know who's watching. Right? That's amazing. That's amazing. Some amazing takeaways there from my son. I don't even know how we got on that topic. Yeah. No, actually, this show is flowing beautifully right now. But before we get there, do you remember the Guy and Shelly's, their Vivid Picks commercial that they did yesterday? Yes. Okay, how would you rate it, 1 through 10? That was 11. That was an 11. Wow. That was 11. Brian, how would you rate it?
Yeah, it was top notch. I love it. Let's see it.
Love it. Well, actually, we're going to. Yeah, let's see it. Let's take it. Let's go there.
Getting with these picks, bro. What are we picking?
Let's see. This guy right here. Been hooping all season.
Bro, he just broke up with his girlfriend. You think he's gonna drop 20 after a heartbreak?
What about this dude right here?
Bro, did you not watch the last game?
I did watch the last game.
He was wearing a red headband.
So what?
Red means stop.
Oh my God.
I can't rock with it. Boom.
Him right here. Baller.
Oh, this morning he tweeted that he was feeling dangerous.
So that's a good thing, right?
It means turnovers. I can't do it.
Oh my God. Ooh. Look what he just posted on Instagram.
Sushi?
Sushi is raw. You know what else is raw? Talent. His talent, which means he's about to cook. He's about to cook.
That's the one. Yeah! That's the one. Let's go.
15, crowd rising to the feet. George will defend Lillard. Spread floor. Lillard with 47 tonight. Working it down to 2-1. A deep three. Oh! What is playing the series of walk-off three-pointers?
I absolutely love that. And like I said before we went to break there, of course, talking about vivid pics and everything, this show is flowing beautifully here. So last but not least on the agenda for today, we're going to actually get into this Big Sean and Janae Aiko conversation. So he's embracing fatherhood as of lately, calling his son Noah amazing and recognizing how he embodies the best qualities of his family. Speaking on the Jennifer Hudson Show, the Detroit rapper reflected on how becoming a parent has deepened his understanding of legacy, comparing his son's DNA to a computer filled with generations of wisdom. So actually on our last topic, got into fatherhood and the things you had to do with your son, I got a text from my mama. She's watching the show, and she said, leave parenthood better than you got it. So my question to you is, B, what kind of fire was lit under you, not only as an athlete,
that was good, mama,
but as a man after your kids were born?
Honestly, nothing. Like when my kids was first born, I was more emotional when I got married than I did when I saw Ziggy. Ziggy was the first to come out. I have twins, natural twins, and Ziggy, so boy and girl, they're both 10 years old. Ziggy came out first, and they were holding hands. So I got this on film. Ziggy comes out, and Z was still holding on to her hand. That was a pretty cool moment. It was dope. Then Z came out, and they actually came out the same minute. I think it was like 8:25 p.m., 8:28 p.m. And it was a dope experience. It was amazing. But I was more emotional and moved by marriage than I was my kids. I say all that to say it wasn't until like 2 years ago, when I really connected to fatherhood. Right? Like, and there was this moment where I saw my son struggling, Zoe, who's actually here today, and he was struggling trying to clean up the house for Thanksgiving. He was like sweeping the floor, trying to get in the pan at the time. He's 4 at the time. And I was sitting there watching him struggling, and then I was like, oh, snap. Like, he's 4, he doesn't have the skills and tools to be able to self-regulate and work through this. And I thought about my journey in life and the tools and skills that I didn't have to navigate through all of the stresses and challenges that naturally come with life. And in that moment, I was like, I never want him to experience what I experienced. And that's when I started to really be intentional and present. Because as men, a lot of times we're not there. We're there, but we're not there, right? Because, and I don't want to compare men and women. It's not about a competition thing, because sometimes I do wonder sometimes, like, who has the tougher job? The mom, the father. But as a man, history, and even if you look at the Bible, right, we talk about men protecting and providing, and there's so much more to it, but we get fixated on that and stuck there, and we don't evolve to the other characteristics that we need to be protectors and providers and fathers and husbands, etc. All we are taught is go get it, right? And so when you're out there in the world and you're trying to make it happen, there's a lot that you carry as a man. And so you can fall short as a husband, you can fall short as a father, right? And so you have to be extremely dynamic as a man when you are married and you do have kids, and you're also providing, because you got to deal with the world, and you're slaying dragons out there, and then you got to be able to come home and in minutes transition into, I'm home, honey, I'm home. You still, now your job really kicks in. I got to be present. My lady needs me. My kids needs me. But you dealing with, like, think about it. We're literally, as men, slaying dragons out there. It's tough. And now, there's different communities, right? But there's different challenges. And I'll say it on this show, because we talk about black and white all the time. But as a black man, your challenge is different. And Brian, I can only imagine you too. Like, now race is is definitely at the forefront of our country. As a white man navigating through this, you probably have some challenge like, damn, like they talking about black again. What's going on? Or how do I show up for my black friends? Or, you know, there's other challenges that I may not even know you experience as a white man. Everybody got their own challenges, their own ish.
Sure.
Right? So to answer your question is, recently I'm starting to realize, oh, it's here, because in a couple years they're going to be out of school. They're going to be gone. Like my daughter needs me. She's 10 and she just started her menstrual cycle. That's a different ball game. Me, she looked at me. She was like, "Oh, over the next 2 years, you better be present. She needs you, right?" So how do I show up as a father there for my daughter? Gets real.
Can I ask you this though? And obviously, this question is coming from someone who's 22, got no kids, no wife. Only girlfriend I had when I was 19 years old. They ain't even work out. But my question to you is, like, you told that story, 4 years old, your son struggling to clean up the house. Did someone have to explain to you, okay, you got to be present in both situations, of course, at work as well as when you get to home? Or did it kind of just come to you? Was that just like an epiphany that hit for you one day?
Well, some of us don't have the right examples. A lot of us don't have them, because even when we have them, they may not be healthy. Okay, so what does a man look like? What is a man? What does a woman look like? You know, what is that? And then come together, what does marriage look like? How's it supposed to function? How's it supposed to flow? Right? How do we communicate? How do we navigate through, you know, challenges, discrepancies, misunderstandings? Right? There's an art and skill to this stuff. The very first time that I saw it in a healthy way was in church. And I say, and I'm not saying it was it wasn't the church, but this particular church, my pastors, Pastor Ed and Yvette, they pastored the church together. So I saw a true partnership. So I saw them like running the church, leading the church as husband and wife. A lot of times, the man is in front of the church. They did it together, right? There's a lot of times he would be in the pulpit, but like, no, you felt her presence. You knew she, like, shoot, there was times where I was like, I need Mama Yvette, Pastor Ed. I don't need you right now. I need to hear from Mama. You understand? So you knew. And that was the very first time that I saw what it was supposed to look like. And they showed us, right? Even like I like my divorce fell after 14 years. But I know what a husband's supposed to look like. We were doomed from the beginning. I didn't know. Man, right? Even her story. How can I show up and be, an amazing father when I haven't even seen it, or I haven't even seen what marriage looked like? We didn't even have those conversations. I'm having those conversations now with my kids. No, this is, son, I'm telling you, as a man, this is what it's going to look like. And I'm telling you right now, don't be coming home and you be like, oh, I got my 5-year-old kid. He like, I got girlfriends. No, we not doing that. They want to laugh and think it's cute. But like, no, bro, like, it's every man's battle. Right? I'm bouncing all over the place, but I'll land it. I'll bring it all back together. This morning working out, Leger Douzable, who played for the Jets and the 49ers, he was in here working out, and we were listening, and Kanye was on. And there was a line, we both doing the skiers together, and there was a line where it said, how you stay faithful in a room full of hoes. Excuse my language, but that was a Kanye verse, right? And we looked, I was like, boy, he be dropping some like he was dropping some gems.
Yeah, no doubt.
I was like, and he's like, yeah, bro, like, he's like, I used to sing this song when I was in college, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm saying that because, that conversation, how to navigate around women as a man, I didn't have those conversations with my father. I'm having those conversations with my kids now. 5-year-old kid, he coming home like, oh, all the girls like me. I got all these girlfriends. No. I got to say right now, like, no, son, that ain't cute. We ain't doing that. And then I'm just being honest. I'm telling y'all right now, you're not going to come home. And then even you, Z, you 10 years old. Yeah, you cute and you're going to be the big man on campus. Don't come to my crib and you talking about you got girlfriends and this and that. Don't even privately. Yeah. Oh, you got girls. One. Right? Yeah. And then it's also real. How do we do that? You know, you got to establish that early on. So, I know I said a lot there. I don't even know what we talking about today, but we just talking. I love it, though.
Man. This is it. This is what we do. Well, actually,
that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Come on, one more topic before we land the plane. We got 2 minutes. We got 3 minutes.
You got 3 minutes? Okay. Well,
y'all got me talking.
Well, actually, hold on, wait. Close. Let's stay here. Last question. How has fatherhood reshaped your definition of success and the legacy that you want to leave behind?
I struggle with that. I don't know, man. Y'all could debate this. We can continue this conversation another time. We can unpack this. But I feel like I'm planting seeds of a tree that I won't enjoy the shade. Did I say that right? Help me out here. So there's a tree that's growing that we are maturing. We planted this tree. And a lot of men, a lot of us, we deal with this. The beautiful thing about a tree is in the spring and the summer, it get hot.
Yep.
And then you have those moments where you can sit underneath the tree, the shade.
Yep.
I'm not going to be able to enjoy that. I'm going to be gone, be dead, but my kids is going to be able to enjoy that. So when you think about legacy, I think about like first generation, setting up infrastructure, setting up our state, setting up, it's really an institution. It's how we got to be thinking. It's how you got to be thinking as well, right? As men, it says, Reese, what it say in the Bible, your kids? You know, like that's our duty as men, right? Not just to think about our kids, but our kids. Yeah. And so I think that's where we struggle a lot of times as well, and we have to find the right approach, lifestyle, and balance. But you know, being a first generation, like I'm dealing with things that my boys shouldn't have to deal with because I already have it in place, or we're having these conversations now. So my legacy, when it comes to parenting and fatherhood, like I'm like House of Athlete, I Am Athlete. It's supposed to be like a family business. Yeah. Well, it will be a family business. And so I'm taking all the bullets right now. I'm taking all the hits. I'm on the front line. I'm building it. Like standing up a company, this is harder than playing ball. But when it breaks through, now my kids are good. Yep. And hopefully your kids are good.
100%.
Right?
No doubt. Yeah.
And so that's where it's a challenge for a lot of us, because doing that and you outside and you slaying those dragons and then you got to come home and be a father, it's like you got to be grounded. You got to be really connected spiritually. We like Jesus over here.
Love Jesus over here.
To also give that same energy in fatherhood or in marriage. Yeah. Men, what we do is we go out there and we slay these dragons in the world, and we dealing with so much, and then we come home, we ain't got a lot to give. We just be like, I'm done. You just want to sit on the couch, eat your food, watch your favorite shows, and get ready for the next day. But that's not what it's supposed to look like. We actually supposed to be, if you really want to unpack it, I'm getting in my pastor bag, if you really want to unpack it, we're supposed to be raising the kids. No, I ain't gonna get here because then I ain't ready for this, because then it get into some we ain't ready for this because they get into some HR stuff, some women, men stuff. But in the Bible, it talks about like when you go to Genesis and it said, "Oh, man ain't complete." And then what God did, so, this is complete. And then if you go into, I can't go there yet. I ain't ready. I ain't strong enough. And I ain't.
That's so
Hey,
cool.
this is I Am Athlete Daily. This was great. We'll continue to talk about some sports, some culture, some faith. But this was a great show.
Yep.
And we'll keep rocking.
100%.
Tomorrow, see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
I'm here so I won't get fined. We talking about practice.
Come see me. I'm about that.